Beyond the Golden Gate Bridge awaits glorious Marin County, home to sweeping vistas, diverse cultures, and inspiring causes. Join us for Marinterviews, profiling people and projects, creating a meaningful impact in our community. Hi there, welcome back to Marinterviews, where we showcase nonprofits and interesting people that are making a difference in our community. I'm Sandra Riley Grimshaw, and with me today, I'm very pleased to have Ivana with Postpartum Support Center. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And I am so sorry. I mess up your last name all the time, so please help me out.
It's Jagodic.
That's what I said. Well, I love what you're doing. It is so important, but can you, just for our viewers, take us back to how you were sensitive enough to come up with this idea for Postpartum Support Center?
Wow.
Just answer everything at once.
Yes. So 5 years ago,
Wow.
I had my second baby after giving birth. Even throughout the pregnancy, my pregnancy with my last one, it was rough. I felt disconnected. I felt
Was it different than the first?
panicky. It was a lot different.
Okay.
In a sense, because prior to that one, I had a miscarriage.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
that pregnancy was always under some worry and anxiety. If I do something, maybe,
Right.
what can I do to prevent miscarriage again?
Well, internally, I can imagine we always think when we're pregnant that, the blame goes to, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
What can I do to make this a smoother situation? I'm sorry you went through that.
Thank you. So after that, the baby comes and I go into severe postpartum depression and anxiety, OCD, and I always say God knows what else, because I was not myself. And unfortunately, when I reached out for help after several months, not knowing what the heck was going on with me, I realized that I needed to wait to get support and help for at least a month and a half.
Wow.
And, when mom is suffering and when mom is finally deciding to reach out for help, like, you need that help right away.
You needed help a few weeks earlier, absolutely,
Exactly.
or months.
And then knowing that I have to wait, I was again hopeless. I was again in a mindset, okay, universe is against me. Something is wrong. Like, I cannot get to where I need to be good for my kids, myself.
Oh, absolutely. Was this your OBGYN people saying you need to wait? Did they think it would clear up, maybe?
No, it is, unfortunately, and as it is the case right now, a therapist, psychiatrists, they're overbooked.
That's
So
okay.
to get an appointment, you have to wait.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they're not going to see you right away.
Right.
If it's an emergency, then you go to the ER. Still, to this day, there is no emergent or urgent support for maternal mental health issues. So you have to be treated like a general depression.
Yeah.
Or general anxiety, which is completely different. Not completely, but a lot different. So anyhow, knowing that I was by myself, then I started reaching out to some of my friends who had babies. And surprisingly, some of them were going through similar things. We just never wanted to share things between us because there's shame.
We want to be super mom.
Exactly.
We're fine. Everything's great.
And then learning.
I'm glad that people were candid enough with you, because that's the hardest, that can be a hard hurdle.
Absolutely. And it took me time to admit that something was wrong with me. So when you go to
Nothing was wrong. You
Well-
just felt challenged, and you didn't feel like you had support. But
that
it's
is
scary.
true. But when you have that feeling that you're overly stressing out about certain things, that you're failure, that nothing
absolutely.
you do is right,
Yeah.
then you feel that way, that you need support. You're trying your best to plug every plug there is.
Yeah.
Work, home.
Feel like an octopus. It's like, I gotta
Exactly.
hold that, I gotta do that, I have to do that.
And then eventually
But
you're cut.
Yeah.
Then you can't do anything. So anyhow, I was thinking about what can I do, because I learned a lot that there is a need in the community, that families who can't afford to pay out of pocket for therapy or psychiatry, they're stuck, they're suffering, and the longest they wait, it is a lot of consequences on the families, on the children.
Absolutely.
It's harder to treat, and it takes longer to recover from it. So knowing that there is a shortage of psychiatrists and therapists who are specialized in maternal mental health, my only solution at that time was to create peer support from mothers who have experienced postpartum depression and maternal mental health disorders to be able to provide some kind of support and hold their other mom's hand until she gets through it.
Such an important step you took. So from your initial network of like your friends that were feeling the same way, how did you actually find people that would help?
Well, I initially knew who is on our board of directors, Dr. Adam Nelson. So I went to him and I said, I think I'm going through something. And we talked, and he really was very supportive. And I said, I think I would love to do something for our community, for moms, because I know that there's nothing like, there's no support, there's no organization, there's nothing who's doing anything for perinatal mental health. So he's like, well, keep me in the loop. I'd be happy to help. Then I reached out to Andy, another board member of ours, and she's like, oh, my daughter is doing thesis, PhD on maternal mental health.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful. That's terrific.
So she's like, yes, I'd love to be involved, and I think I have experienced it when she was young and first-time mom. So she was on board. Then she recommended other board members, and then we kind of joined and met, and we decided that we want to start a nonprofit that can provide free, always free support, so that every mom has access to it. So that's how it started. We started with
because setting up a nonprofit can be a lot of work. Did you have a little? I'm impressed the support group you had. That is wonderful.
So setting it up, it was not easy because I had no idea how to set it up. So I did do my homework. I became also a peer support specialist, certified peer support specialist. I went through a lot of training about maternal mental health. Then I got a lot of training about how to run a nonprofit and community support and how to build the support groups and all those things. So we started from support line. We started with support groups, and we started with like just peer-to-peer, one-on-one support.
That's wonderful.
And providing referrals, begging therapists to squeeze a patient, begging psychiatrists to give us sliding scales for certain moms who couldn't afford otherwise.
It really is exactly a grassroots effort, and how you've done. And now it's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years.
So you took this through the pandemic. You must have seen some very interesting stories of the isolation. The pandemic, I think, is still, causing effects with people.
Absolutely. During the pandemic, when pandemic started, we were like, oh, like, what's going to happen to the organization? But then again, we were providing remote support anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Even before.
That's true.
Because we know that some moms can't get out of the house.
That's true.
They don't have childcare to always go even to their important appointments.
Yeah.
So we wanted to provide that remote access and support. And then when pandemic hit, we were okay with that, but then we were worried about the health of the organization. Are we going to be able to make it?
Correct.
I had a full-time job that has nothing to do with the Postpartum Support Center and 2 little babies. And I'm like, am I going to be able to sustain this, undertaking?
Absolutely. That's what we do. Oh my gosh.
Little by little, it was hard. It was hard with fundraising. It was hard with getting funds. We were new people. We didn't have a physical location until we identify another need in the community, and that is, lack of practical support for young moms.
Yeah.
diapers,
Yeah,
wipes,
supplies.
supplies.
I see all the time you have a wonderful system of having donations, and you let people know what sizes and what things you need. Now, do you have a physical
Yes, we
center?
do.
Okay, good.
We have in Terlinda, Centerville, on the Redwood Highway.
Great.
We're so lucky. We have a free store
Oh, thank
there. We
goodness.
have a we call it multi-purpose room where we do classes, support groups. We're starting lactation support.
Oh, that's
We're
great.
doing education on birth preferences, education on how to cope with labor, and just education on how a woman can advocate for herself when she goes into labor or she needs to deliver. Like, what is it
Yes.
that, what are their options? Like, what are, all of it. Like, you know your body the best. So these are your options. And
And it's not about a birth plan. It's not about the music. It's about when you know something's going on, you need to be able to advocate for that. I think that's wonderful. And now you have people that have you have interesting stories or inspiring stories from some of the people that have come to you, at their darkest. By the time
yes,
people reach out and realize, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I'm not going crazy. This is hormonal or genetic or anything. This is happening, and yet to have an organization that understands that. Do you have long-term friends now, members?
we do. We do. Some of our staff comes from our clients, then becoming our volunteer, and then becoming one of our team members. That is, I always cherish that because it really, is a testament really on what we've done and how important that is. The community is coming really, like, they're supporting us left and right.
That is terrific.
Specifically with in-kind donations, bringing them. So we were just talking recently about we received like over $1.5 million worth of in-kind donations
Oh,
just
that's wonderful.
last year. So we're really excited about, helping community, helping families in need, but also protecting our earth and making sure that a lot of those items don't end up in landfill.
So do you have people, we'll put up the information where people can find you, but as far as, do you have a kind of a calendar of events of when you need something, like, oh, it looks like we need clothes, or is it usually just diapers and formula?
It's everything.
It's everything, okay.
So it's from postpartum supplies,
Okay.
from maternity clothes, lactation supplies, pumps, from formula, from baby clothes, from shoes, toys, books, bassinets.
Oh, wonderful, okay.
Baby bottles, bibs, like anything really, high chairs. Anything that a baby needs and that a pregnant woman needs and a mom needs, like a recovery. Mom who's recovering from the birth, either, C-section or a vaginal birth.
Right.
So we have plenty, and all of that has been donated.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it is really good to be able to, use, we say always, like, loved or pre-loved items.
Yes, gently used,
And,
gently cherished. Yes.
and then
But
give
how
them
good
home.
for somebody. I love to donate to places and causes and things, but to know that something, I mean, I don't have any of my baby stuff around anymore, but it just makes you feel good to donate. I'm sure you have some people coming in saying, I just love thinking this is going to go to a good cause and a good people that need it.
I would say a lot of our donors are also volunteers.
Oh, wonderful.
Because when they donate, they see, oh, this is like, oh, I've heard, or I found you on Google, or I heard from a friend or someone, in a class or whatever.
Right.
And they come when they donate, they're like, do you want a tour? Do you want to see what we do here? And they come in and, like, when you see our center from the outside, like, you think it's like a little office or something. But when you go through all
It's
these,
just magic.
it's really a nice center that we have to thank First Five Marin, who actually
Wonderful.
helped us fund
Okay.
the center.
Well, I look forward to coming and seeing it. So what are your goals? I know you have a walk coming up in May, and then do you have a few more goals that you want to have to attain this year?
This year, well, we're growing enormously. we're expanding. We have doubled the amount of clients that we serve
Okay.
just within the last year. I think since we opened the center, we're just getting more and more clients, and there's like people just know about us.
So as the world opened up, people knew they have a place to come to and have that
Exactly.
support. That's
And
wonderful.
we are really we're in need of staff.
Oh, okay.
And we currently, our center is open part-time only, just because our staff is part-time.
Okay.
And we're hoping that this year we can change that and be open full-time and have full-time staff that can support us with a lot of work.
Yeah, with everything that's coming in.
So, yes, and you mentioned Walk for Moms. May, as you know, is a mental health
Yeah.
awareness month.
And
it's-
Mother's Day.
May is Mother's Day. May is our 5th anniversary.
Oh my gosh, how wonderful.
So May is a big month for PPSC.
Okay.
And on May 19th, we have a Walk for Moms. That's our 4th annual event. We do gather community together. We gather moms together, families, professionals, healthcare providers, any service providers that are helping moms in any way. We want all of them to come.
Wonderful.
And they could have their booths. We already have a lot of them registered to come there, have their booths, and showcase their services to the families. But we also have a lot of just the families who want to support mothers, who want to come. So the goal is really, we have 2 goals on that day, is to really raise awareness when we do that community walk around the lagoon, to really show our community, show the world that mothers matter,
Absolutely.
that we need to pay attention to mothers a lot more, because unfortunately we are set to fail, because the society expects from a mom to provide as well, to have a job, to be a good-looking mom,
Yeah.
to be great in the community, support community, to have friends, to have a great social life, to be a great mother, to also cook meals at home,
Right.
to be a great housewife, to make sure that she can parent their children successfully.
And may or may not have a partner that helps.
Exactly.
So when you're doing it all, I
And
think,
it is, even if you have a partner, it's for whatever reason, we're still carrying that mothers are supposed to carry a lot more.
because we can.
Because we can.
But we
Yes,
need the support. But yeah, and that's so important to have.
just because we can doesn't mean we should.
Exactly. I agree.
So I think we need to really, honor mothers and find every way we can to help, especially the mothers, first-time mothers or mothers with little ones. They need a lot more support.
Absolutely. It's so wonderful to have this support, because, again, by the time someone realizes they need help, it's just, and where to go, it's wonderful that there is this support center for them. I so appreciate what you're doing. And what we're trying to do is raise awareness and help.
Absolutely.
And when we put up the information and give you this to use on your behalf, people can also donate financially too.
Yes, we do peer-to-peer fundraising. So
Okay.
we have a healthy competition in fundraising for PPSC. So we start that on May 1st, and on May 19th we're gonna, announce who's doing well.
Oh, good.
And kind of have a little bit fun with it.
Good.
So we do have our goal to raise about $100,000.
Great.
Hopefully we will achieve that, just because we have a lot of
Operating expenses and
Absolutely.
you're growing.
absolutely.
Well, Ivana, I so appreciate talking to you always. And thank you again for coming and sharing your story on Mer Interviews. And I will see you soon. That wraps up this edition of Mer Interviews. And please contact us if you know somebody inspiring we should talk about. And have a good day.
Marin Interviews, produced in partnership with Marin Arts, Marin Link, Truce, and D2ISF. Please join us on our mission. Nominate a person or program to be profiled either in studio, location, or Zoom. Sponsor a segment. We look forward to working with you.